thwop of my feet striking the pavement. I will finish, no matter how far I must go to reach the finish line. It's simply what must happen. As for why I'm so compelled to compete, I think back to my childhood in Queens, New York, in the 1970s. My mother introduced me to yoga, an ancient form of holistic training that captivated her imagination and changed her life, bringing calm to her troubled mind. True yoga masters could hold a pose for minutes, hours, or days. It wouldn't make much difference, because for them, time stopped. They had mastered the relationship between their mind and body to such a degree, fused them so completely, that nothing mattered other than the sound of their breath and the beating of their heart. But even if you practice yoga, meditate, or run for hours on end, life will intrude in ways that leave you unprepared. Obstacles confront you and require quick adaptations, making a mockery of something like the runner's high. So you're cruising along, feeling in control of the situation? Great. How about when the trail ends and the terrain grows rocky and you break your ankle? Then what do? Or what happens when you need to climb a rock face to keep advancing? Only, come to think of it, you didn't train for that, and you could easily fall and break your neck. Do you adapt, or do you fall apart? Because all you knew was the thud of the pavement, and now the pavement is gone. Forget the challenges of an endurance run. Some people are so ill-equipped at handling the unexpected that a cold cup of coffee or a traffic jam could ruin their day. Very seldom do we wake up and have our day unfold exactly as mapped. So I grew interested in how physically unprepared many people are for daily events, let alone extraordinary ones. Their training doesn't reflect life's complexities. An event such as a distance race, as challenging as many people find it to be, is highly predictable, an adjective that seldom applies to life's great challenges, the ones that truly define us as human beings. If a 5K race seems like a good impetus for improving your health, consider an alternative, one that's not totally pre-planned and that will strengthen your mind as well as your body. Consider a Spartan race. I created the Spartan race in 2010 to test people's overall conditioning, a term that encompasses endurance, strength, stamina, speed, and athleticism. I also wanted to test their ability to adapt physically, and perhaps, even more importantly, mentally, especially to surprises. I wanted to stress test the weaknesses that make us vulnerable in a difficult and sometimes dangerous world, where the chaos of the battlefield increasingly characterizes civilian life and everyday society. My theory was that such a test would have broader implications for a person's life than mere fitness. Attempting a Spartan race, I believed, would teach people to handle the obstacles of everyday life, enabling them to function at a high level as parents, employees, public servants, or in any role that life might throw their way. Spartans refer to this readiness as obstacle immunity, meaning an ability to move past, around, through, or over what life places in their path. In the races, we'll position a mud pit, a greased wall, and other physical challenges in the way of racers. But whatever the obstacle, its purpose goes beyond just trying to trip someone up and challenge them with 30 burpees. These obstacles are metaphors for the obstacles we all encounter as we move through life. A cancer diagnosis is an obstacle. A pink slip is an obstacle. A broken marriage is an obstacle. Life sends them our way in an endless procession. Spartan race was conceived as a test, but no one should race, at least not like this, without adequate training. The absence of physical conditioning would lead to failure, plain and simple. In my mind, the training for the race, even more than the race itself, was where the major life progress would occur. An athlete training for a Spartan race poses the same challenges as a jazz musician preparing to give a performance. It requires extensive preparation, but its content can't necessarily be predicted. Musicians can't prepare for the concert by rehearsing what they know they'll play. It wouldn't be jazz without improvisation. What they have to do is train or practice all the necessary skills they will need to improvise effectively. They have to practice finger technique, experiment with different keys, be thrust into unfamiliar musical situations, and have to figure out ways to navigate them. Successful jazz musicians